Well, welcome in. It is definitely a humid one out there. Nice view nevertheless on the riverfront. And here is a look at your temperatures across our area. Lower 80s for a lot of you. Statesboro 79 degrees. Of course, the inland spots do cool down a little bit quicker than those by the ocean. But nevertheless, it's going to be quite the muggy one out there tonight. And a look at Viper Radar shows you not terrible conditions either. And things can remain dry across a lot of the coastal empire and low country. Start off the day again. 76 is a low tonight, but those temperatures climb quickly. High temperature will be 95 degrees, and that's going to be quite this steamy one with heat indices possibly 103 to 105 degrees. And there's about a 20% chance of showers and storms in there, but not thinking widespread shower and storm activity is in play for the area at all. Here's the remnants of Chantal. This is a tropical depression now with max sustained winds of 30 miles per hour. The big story has been the rainfall across the Research Triangle of North Carolina that's causing flash flooding, and the Myrtle Beach area got a pretty good hit from a solid tropical storm early this morning. But now this system will continue to track off to the north, and a remnant low that will bring the possibility for heavy rainfall generally from Richmond, Virginia through a lot of the northeast corridor before this system eventually does get absorbed by the mid and upper levels. Our local Vipercast does continue to keep things dry for the start of the day. For what it's worth, either low-level clouds or a bit of light fog developing is very much in play, but not thinking that's a widespread concern. But winds are going to develop out of the southwest overnight into tomorrow, and that is usually the warmest wind flow and most humid wind flow we can get here. And that's going to allow for a lot of heat and humidity, and the sea breeze will also get pinned pretty close to the coast. That'll initially start some activity. So if this comes true, yeah, a lot of areas east of I-95 are going to get rained on, but not a ton of coverage. There's just not enough lift in the atmosphere for that. But some activity could be pretty potent. These storms will not be moving around much. Yeah, activity does settle down in the evening and the overnight, but getting into your Tuesday again, starting off lots of sunshine for the early portions of the day, get heating of the day, a little bit of sea breeze action, and here you go. Another round of storms in the afternoon and another hot and humid day on tap. Some of this activity will sit over the same spot for a while, and if you get a more potent storm, that could lead to localized flooding. May even see a strong wind gust or two in this activity, but generally speaking, it will pulse inland later on into the afternoon and the early portions of the evening, but not a ton of way of coverage at all at this. That's why we're going for 30% rain chances on your Tuesday. Now you go towards Wednesday, things will gradually get even more unsettled and heat does back off just a little bit. Can't rule out a 20% chance of a shower in the next few hours. Better than that, skies will clear out pretty significantly. Low temperature is going to be fairly warm across the area though, with mid 70s expected. A very hot one tomorrow. Do be sure to stay hydrated. Sunscreen if you're outdoors for an extended period of time, and don't overexert. We are back to our normal heat. Winds do develop out of the south, eventually switch to southwest, 10 to 15 miles per hour by the afternoon. Maybe find some stray to isolated storms, but the main storm concerns come in by Wednesday especially. On the water, it is going to be a bit on the steamy side, but also to mention there will be very much looking at elevated winds by the afternoon with the sea breeze coming in. 2 to 3 foot seas, not thinking necessarily anything as impactful as what we had the last few days with Chantal moving through the region. Your next several days do bring that possibility for storms, but heat and humidity are the main issue, of course, and do need to be careful with that. As we get in towards the latter half of the week, though, the heat backs off somewhat, and we're, say, back to regularly scheduled programming across the coastal empire and low country.
And by regularly scheduled programming, you mean just those summer rain showers,
yes.
right?
Yes, and the typical heat and humidity we're used to, right?
And some heat, can't forget that.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, Jeff.
We've got some regular scheduled programming for sports too, and it's on